Hello everyone, it's Steve Powell, and April is Stress Awareness Month. So I'd like to share with you a short, active recovery and regeneration session that we can do with both whole body and targeted vibration. This will allow us to take advantage of the many benefits that vibration brings in terms of upgrading, accelerating some of the physiological responses that are critical in combating and managing stress. So things like increasing blood flow, fluid flow, circulation, lymphatic flow, and as we're going to do in this session, combined with breathing, can have a really positive effect on the nervous system, particularly the body's rest and digest state. Because ultimately, any active recovery, regeneration, or even a rest protocol is designed to bring the body back to homeostasis. So we're going to take 6 exercises. The first 2 exercises are going to be using the foam roller, obviously adding vibration, and then we're going to use the power plate for some mobility and finish with my favorite, which is a calf massage combined with breathing techniques. Let's take a look at the exercises. For video purposes, I'm going to be demonstrating just a single side for each of these exercises, so please remember to always do both sides. We're going to perform 30 to 45 seconds on the foam rolling exercises and for the mobility, but for the massage, we're going to increase the time anywhere from 1 minute up to and even beyond 2 minutes. So we're going to self-select the roller, whatever setting feels comfortable to you, and we're targeting the glutes, the posterior hip in this particular movement, and you have a choice of being upright, or if you feel more comfortable, because of the lower profile of the roller, you can come onto the elbows. The movement is very rhythmical, so 1 to 2 inches at a time, forward and back, self-selecting the pressure. We're then going to add side to side. So imagine you're dragging the skin, the tissue across the roller, and then finally, for that little bit more variability in movement, we're just going to add some rotation. So you're really exploring what feels comfortable around all the tissue areas, the back of the hip into the glute, and just keep repeating that sequence of variable movement. And then of course, you'd switch sides. We're now moving into the anterior hip, front of the quad. So we're starting with the roller just at the front of the hip, and that same movement applies forward and back. I have my supporting leg to the right, just giving me balance and stability onto the elbows. Very slow rhythmical movement. Then we're going to drag the hip across from side to side. Again, relaxing the breathing, keeping the body as in a relaxed position as possible. And then finally, we're going to actually bend the knee and add some rotation, essentially with the foot and ankle, like a windscreen wiper going in and out, just to create that variability again, and we just repeat that sequence. Our first mobility exercise is actually a combination for the front of the hip that's in direct contact with the vibration and also the opposite hamstring. So we're going to take a kneeling position, we push the big toe into the platform, just lifts the front of the knee slightly, rhythmical movement forward to the point where we feel the stretch of the front of the hip, body nice and tall. Then we're actually going to drop the hip back into a hamstring stretch on the opposite side. So we're essentially just using the hip to create movement going forward. We lengthen through the front of the hip, and then as we drop the hip back, we feel that stretch through the hamstrings. Rhythmical movement, breathing nice and relaxed, working for 30 to 45 seconds on each side. And the vibration settings for mobility can be 30 to 35 Hertz on a low setting. Our next mobility exercise is for the inner thigh, the adductor. I've taken the mat off the platform, and now we're going to come into that kneeling position again. So we've got the toes on train tracks facing forward, relax through the upper body, and initially we're going to start by driving the hip forward and back. So we're going to work through 5 repetitions forward and back. Then, just to bring in more of the upper body, we're now going to reach through the arm. So thread the arm through, under the opposite arm, and then return. Allow the whole body to move. So again, we're now connecting the upper back, the thoracic spine, into the hips as well. Nice rhythmical movement. And then we can repeat that sequence going forward and back and adding the arm reach. So that is our medial hip adductor mobility. Now we're moving into the glutes again in this 90-90 stretch. So the back knee is on the ground and the front leg is crossed at 90 degrees or whatever feels comfortable. We have the supporting hand on the platform, and then what we're going to do is take a rhythmical reach with the opposite arm over and across the body. So we start with the hips square and we drive the reach across the body, and that really increases the stretch through the glutes and into the opposite side, lats as well. So rhythmical movement, self-select the range of motion, a really good stretch for that posterior lateral hip. Relax through the breath, reach maybe a little further each time. Again, working for 30 to 45 seconds on each side. That is our glute 90-90. Our final exercise is the calf massage. So very different now, whereby we are completely looking to relax. So the calves are directly on the platform. We can self-select the settings to higher frequency and even amplitude if we want to, because we are looking for a direct tissue massage response. We're going to be working from anything from 1 even up to 2 minutes. What I'm going to encourage you to do today, you can typically perform this in an upright seated position, but we're actually going to go with a complete lying supine position so we can introduce breathing as well. You can perform any breathing protocol, but today we're going to go with a box breathing of an inhale for 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for 4, and then we hold for a count of 4. So any slow out breath protocol is fine, but let's have a go at the box breathing. We can relax the body completely, and because the feet are slightly elevated above the heart, we are also really maximizing venous return. So let the body relax completely. Hands can be in any comfortable position. And you can close your eyes again if desired, and then we work through our box breathing protocol. So it's an inhale breath for 4, a hold for 4, an exhale breath for 4, and then hold for 4, and repeat that cycle throughout the 1 to 2 minutes. So you can continue with your box breathing technique. The most important thing for this calf massage is that we fully allow the body to relax. So that completes our active recovery and regeneration session as part of Stress Awareness Week. Enjoy this protocol as often as you can, on a daily basis, as a movement snack during the day, or as its own post-workout or recovery session.